What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. We got Jaime Munguía in the news, man. So it is rumored to go around. Actually, not even rumored. I can't say this is a rumor, but both parties have confirmed that they are in talks with making a fight between. Well, damn, he wasn't a middleweight champion, so I guess I would say former junior middleweight champion or former super welterweight champion Jaime Munguía and current light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol to take place at around June 10th or whatnot. Now this is definitely crazy to me because I actually remember doing a video of Jaime Munguía saying that he would be interested to move up to 175 to fight Dmitry Bivol. Now I do have my thoughts on this, and of course, I'm gonna break down my thoughts, but let me go ahead and give you the research. Let me do the research, bring the news to you, and then of course I'm gonna give my opinion. Oh, shout out to Boxing News 24 says Dmitry Bivol versus Jaime Munguía in the works for June 10th, says Eddie Hearn. That's crazy. Okay, so it says promoter Eddie Hearn says that a fight between WBA light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol and Jaime Munguía is in the works for June 10th in a clash that would take place at 175. Munguía 26 will be a tune-up fight for Bivol. That is sad, man. Oh my goodness, that is sad. Munguía 26 will be a tune-up fight for Bivol to prepare for him for his rematch with Canelo Alvarez in September. Canelo is taking a warm-up of his own facing John Ryder on May 6th in Guadalajara, Mexico. You can argue that Munguía is a far tougher opponent than Ryder because he can punch and he has high work rate that can make it interesting against Bivol. Yeah, we see that's the problem. Number one is we don't know that actually. You actually don't know that. We don't know how his work level or would be at 175. We've seen what he does at 160, but we have not seen what he does at 175, okay? When asked why Munguía, who was 41-0 with 33 knockouts, a middleweight, being considered for Bivol's next fight, Hearn says that Munguía management wanted to fight. Indeed, Munguia's promoter Oscar De La Hoya and Fernando Beltran both said recently that they're interested in Bivol as an opponent for the unbeaten Jaime. Last year, Munguía fought Jimmy Kelly at super middleweight, weighing at 165, so it was a catchweight. So he certainly got decided to take on Bivol, who was 21-0 with 11 knockouts at 175 for his WBA light heavyweight belt. That's a fight we're exploring for June 10th at 175, said Eddie Hearn to Boxing Social about a fight between Dmitry Bivol and Munguía. What was Munguia's last fight at 168 something? Team Munguía want the fight. We're just looking at it. I rate Jaime Munguía, by the way. He's a good fighter, but he's gone from fighting absolutely no one to fighting Dmitry Bivol at 175. It's quite bizarre. We're looking at it, said Hearn. Munguía wants the Bivol fight. Our main interest for Jaime Munguía is Golovkin, Bivol, and Charlo, said Munguia's promoter Fernando Beltran to Fino Boxing about a potential opponent for Munguía. I beat him by throwing, said Munguía when asked how he beats Bivol. The truth is, I have a great respect for Bivol. I think he's a great fighter without a doubt. I think hitting the body and doing good training can always win. You're gonna have to do a lot more if you're trying to fight Dmitry Bivol, but here we go. We're talking to several opponents, and one of them is Gennady Golovkin, said Oscar De La Hoya to Fino Boxing. But about Jaime Munguia's next opponent, we're announcing something soon for Jaime Munguía. Jaime Munguía is the future of boxing after Canelo. Future of Mexican boxing after Canelo. He is very serious, said De La Hoya. When asked about Dmitry Bivol as an option for Munguía, he is the best of the best. Munguía said, Munguía said, look, put it on me. I gained weight. I want to fight. I really want this one. Munguia's style makes this a great fight with Bivol, according to De La Hoya, but I don't believe that at all. So let's go forward with everything, said De La Hoya. I don't agree with that at all. Now, before we start to make such a big fuss of Jaime Munguía moving up to 175 to fight Dmitry Bivol, let's note that it has been done in history before. Bernard Hopkins did it with Antonio Tarver, and Bernard Hopkins moved up to 175 to capture the light heavyweight from 160. He jumped over 168 to fight at 175 to capture the light heavyweight title from Antonio Tarver. I don't think from then, I don't think that has been done since the days of Sugar Ray Robinson. But regardless, it has been done before, okay? So, listen, this is my take on it, all right? For one, and, Jaime Munguia's last fight, I believe, I just read it, but last fight was at 165, a catchweight at 165, so technically that was at the super middleweight division. But, all right, so but here's my thing, and I know a lot of guys will say, well, first you're critical of Jaime Munguia. You said that you wanted to see him in a big fight, but now he's trying to get a big fight with Dmitry Bivol. Now you're saying that that's some BS. Yeah, I mean, I don't like this because I want him to get big fights in his division. All right, him moving up to fighting Dmitry Bivol, that's I don't want to say career suicide because he can always use the excuse of, hey, I moved up to 175, but he's not, bro. I don't see him being at his best at all fighting Dmitry Bivol. I think that Dmitry Bivol washes Jaime Munguia. I mean, washes him. Like it almost reminds me of adults of an adult smacking around a kid, bro. Like I just don't see Jaime Munguia having any type of success against Dmitry Bivol at all, bro. I mean, Jaime Munguia is a straightforward. He throws the same type of punch the entire fight, and I don't think that he's gonna have that same pop in his punch at 175 that he did at 154 and 160, okay? He's a threat at 154, he's a threat at 160. Let's keep it there, bro. I don't want to see, or could possibly even be a threat at 168. We don't know because we have not seen him compete at a high level at 168. So why would I want him to go to the highest level of 175, a weight that we have not seen him compete at, okay? I don't want to see that fight. I'm just being honest. I don't want to see that fight. As much as I'm critical, believe it or not, I actually was a huge fan of Jaime Munguia coming up, bro. Before he moved to DAZN, I feel like when he moved to DAZN, all his clout went away. You know, we stopped really hearing about him. He stopped fighting guys of that nature. And then it was crazy because Eddie Hearn just did an interview saying that, De La Hoya needs to focus on Jaime Munguia because his resume is just what did he say? Atrocious, whatever word, horrendous, or whatever word he said. So it's crazy that they could be possibly working together for a fight with Jaime Munguia versus Dmitry Bivol. Now, again, it's so many other fights that I would like to see Jaime Munguia in, bro. All right, you have what's his name? You have Edgar Berlanga, who's just signed with DAZN, I believe, bro. I would much rather see that fight take place right now than Jaime Munguia still has unfinished business at middleweight. He didn't even win a belt at middleweight. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't win a legitimate title at middleweight right now. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather see him against the likes of Gennady Golovkin. Maybe they can turn around and get the fight with him versus Jamal Charlo going, or the Zanabek guy that's the WBO champion going. Or, if you're gonna move up, at least fight somebody at 168. You got plenty of names at 168 that you can fight. Like I just mentioned, Edgar Berlanga. You could get, I don't know how realistic it would be with Demetrius Andrade now because Demetrius Andrade is signed to Showtime or whatnot. So, but bro, it's many more fights that are sensible for Jaime Munguia to fight, not being Bivol. And then look at this, and look at how disrespectful it is, bro. Like they're considering this a tune-up fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that is not the highest level of disrespect to for Jaime Munguia, I don't know what is. They are considering this fight a tune-up fight because nobody in their right mind thinks that Jaime Munguia has a chance to beat Dmitry Bivol. Hell, so including myself, I either see Jaime Munguia getting stopped or I see it being 12 rounds to 0 for Dmitry Bivol. I see Dmitry Bivol winning that fight. Should it be no knockdowns? 120 to 108. All three scorecards, unanimous decision. I don't even think this fight is going to be close, so I really don't want to see this fight. I don't want this fight to take place. Yes, I want Jaime Munguia to step it up in the competition level, but I want him to do it in a sensible fashion. Fight in your division, my guy. I want you to fight the best in your division. That's all I'm asking. But should he go along with it, I definitely will be tuning in because I'm a boxing fan. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about this possible fight Bro, do you even who are you picking? Do you think that Jaime Munguía is going way over his head, or do you even think that Jaime Munguía has a slighter chance of beating Dmitry Bivol? Like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?